Hello everybody, welcome back, and I am TheChornick, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the new Pokemon games that just got announced, Pokemon Violet and Pokemon Scarlet. I actually love those names, by the way. Gen 9 is officially announced for this year, so it's coming out in 2022 already. Pokemon Legends Arceus did not have a very long lifespan at all now, because two main games in 1 year. I really wanted Game Freak to wait longer. I really want them to take more time with their games and not just be dishing them out like Call of Duty does, right? Like, I want them to take more time, make a really good story, have really good Pokemon, have a really beautiful world, maybe bring in some extra experienced hands that know how to make a really beautiful open world, because they claim that this game is an open world game. Now, Pokemon Legends Arceus was not really true open world. It was very linear, so you could only go to certain regions in a certain order. You couldn't just jump from region to region. You had to go back to the main village before you could jump to another area, and it's like you couldn't explore the entire Sinnoh region freely, basically. It was a very linear path, kind of like Tomb Raider. Their games are very kind of linear open worlds, stuff like that. So maybe this game will actually become true open world, like a Breath of the Wild or a Skyrim, for example. This game, I'm really hoping that really is true open world, because that would be a step. Plus, I will say this game definitely looks at least a little bit better than Legends Arceus. It looks a little bit better. There's more colors, better trees and grass and foliage going on. There's glorious cities, it looks like. They got all these different kind of weather systems finally, right? Some good looking weather systems, or at least improved upon. Legends was kind of eh. It just looked like it could have been a lot more. They could have done better, but it looks like they actually have new textures and stuff that result from it raining and stuff like that. So thank the Lord they're improving at least a little bit more. But again, every single Pokemon game kind of only improves a little bit. That's why I just really want them to take more time between generations to develop all this stuff, because they do have to make all these different Pokemon, right? And I think they really need to take more time to really make the world good as well. The story good, the quests, all that stuff. Is this really going to be a true RPG world where, you can have these whole-on dialogues with different groups of people and go wherever you want to go, when you want to go there and stuff? I'm really excited for that if that is the case with this game. But let's talk about the starters. I'm so far okay with the starters, but they're not really original to me. I basically pointed out that we pretty much have like a water Torchic, a fire Totodile, and a grass Litten is basically what those three are. So not really original, but overall design, I mean, they kind of look like fake leaks that actually are real. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of look like they were fan made, but at the same time, Pokemon actually made them, so they're actually real. So that's what this game kind of looks like too. But the starters, I'm actually kind of excited for them, even though they don't really look that original. It's more of I think they could actually have really cool final evolutions. I could see that for all of them. I like all three kind of. I don't know about the duck, though. I feel like the duck is just going to be a really big duck. I always just assume it's going to be a big croc, a big cat, and a big duck, when their final evolutions come along. One of them is probably going to be really, bulky and massive. One's going to kind of be in the middle, and the other one's going to be more feminine. That's usually how Pokemon's been handling these things. Usually, in the past, there was always at least one starter you liked out of the three, right? One that was okay, that's a good starter. That's the one I'm gonna use. For me, in Sword and Shield, I didn't have any of that. I'm hoping that these final evolutions on these starters are absolutely amazing. I also want to point out that the world seems to be set in Spain, so that's cool. We're getting a whole new country. However, the map that was leaked in the trailer kind of looks like Puerto Rico. It doesn't really look shaped like Spain, so that's a little weird. But the top right of the map seems to be cut off from us seeing it, so maybe it's actually secretly they're hiding that on purpose, because it could be connected to Kalos, France, right? So maybe that's why they're cutting it off to like just kind of hide it. That you know, it's connected right up to France there, or Kalos really. So maybe that's why they're cutting it off. But a lot of people are saying it's Spain. But it could be another kind of Hispanic, Latin American, Puerto Rico maybe, like something like that. That's what it's shaped like from what we've seen in the trailer. But I think it is Spain. And that's kind of cool. I mean, like, I like how we're finally getting more and more different countries and stuff too. We've had 2 American, we've had like 3 or 4 Japan, right? And then we had Kalos, which was France. I think that's it, right? We haven't had anything else. But we're getting another European nation, it looks like, at this point. Like, I wonder what kind of goes in and deciding what area to cover next. But I guess it would be quite a long time to cover most of the world, you know what I mean? Like, it would take forever. But there's another thing I do not like, and that's the protagonists. I do not like their designs. I think they look generic, NPC, and they're hideous, to be honest with you. I do not like, they're the worst out of, even the past couple NPCs have been kind of generic, to be honest, but at least, like, they have a little bit more unique designs and personality to them. Whereas, like, this one is, like, I feel like the worst one yet. Like, it's getting more and more bland. I know there's going to be customization, I know, but still, I kind of miss a little bit of that, you know, originality to the characters. Like, I kind of miss the original designs of the protagonists and how unique they all were. Like, now it's just kind of, that's just such an NPC, like a schoolboy, schoolgirl NPC with a cowboy hat on or whatever that is. You know what I mean? Like, that's literally what it is. And now, I would just wish for something more. Like, I don't even know what to pick here. Like, will the girl or the guy look better in the game? I don't know. They kind of look both bland to me. You know what I mean? So I can see that hopefully this game is actually way better looking, way better story, way better everything. Hopefully everything just improves massively. I don't think they would go back to that Sword and Shield era of like kind of lying to fans about things, and I hope they don't, right? Start making excuses for why their games look so bad. I just want them to keep improving. I don't want them to just start being lazy, you know, or just dishing out games like Call of Duty does, like every single year, or every couple of years, either 2-3 years. Like, I want them to actually take a good amount of time or get more experienced hands on this project. But that's just me. But overall, you know what? I'm gonna keep somewhat excited about this because a new region, brand new country that we're going into. I'm guessing Spain, right? The starters actually look kind of good. The protagonists, they look crap, to be honest. But the world actually looks a little bit better. The weather looks better than Legends Arceus, so I think we're improving in that realm. I think we're heading in a direction where, like, if they're really going to go open world, then kudos to them. But that's just my initial thoughts on this. Perhaps they're going to have a gimmick, you know, like, I don't know what the gimmick is going to be. They've had a new gimmick every single generation, so I was making a joke that, you know, maybe they're going to do something stupid like Minimax or something, and the Pokemon grow really small, and that's because of the bond between trainer and Pokemon, that this is allowed to happen, just like how the bond between trainer were allowing to have Mega Evolution happen and Z moves happen, and the bond between the two allowed big Pokemon to happen. And it's just like, come up with something new, you know? Like, maybe the reason is just simply that there's just a different kind of power or something. Or maybe a certain legendary allows it to happen or something. You know what I mean? Like, make it at least different. Like, instead of just the bond between the two. Like, that's what's used every single time. And then obviously the item is always the trainer having some sort of thing around their wrist. Whether it's a Mega Evolution ring, whether it's a Z ring, whether it's a freaking, what is that, band? Dynamax band? Gigamax band? Yeah, so like, they could come up with something else. Maybe? With this region, either it's going to have a new gimmick. You guys could post in the comment section below what you think is going to be. I mean, so far we had something to do with the evolution. We had one that just made them bigger, and then one that, like, basically bigger moves, right? So what's going to be next? Are they going to minimize them? Is it going to be like a tabletop game? And, like, two people are gonna sit at the edges of the table and have their little Pokemon run around on the table and do battle. What's the point in that, really, to be honest? But I could see all sorts of merchandise coming out of that, to be honest. They could probably have board games and all sorts of things coming out of little Pokemon. So you guys could post in the comment section below what you think the unique thing is gonna be. But if they don't go that route, fine with me. You know, fine with me. I'm fine with that. Mega Evolutions, I feel like, can really move past their own region, right? So bring those back at least. But I'm fine with everything else kind of staying the same. Also, apparently the Hishu region forums exist, I guess. I guess you could bring them over from Pokemon Home. I know fossils exist in the world, so I don't see it as like a break of lore necessarily. But yeah, that's just something else to point out, is that Hishu, or like those old Pokemon Legends forums, right? Or Legends Arceus forums of Pokemon will be available for you to play with. So make that with what you will, I guess. And Rift to Journeys, because they're probably gonna end after this year too. It's probably gonna enter their brand new season, so maybe Ash is all done. Maybe he's going home. Maybe he's gonna beat Leon and become the king of the world. And the Pokemon anime is gonna have to find a new protagonist. That might be the case. We have to find out. But the new region's coming, or maybe it's just a continuation of Journeys. Maybe they just, hey, look, there's a new region, and they just don't change the main characters. They just change the setting or something like that, you know what I mean? So maybe it's just a continuation. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I love your faces. Can't wait to see you guys in the next one. And peace off. Thank you very much.